India, our motherland, a land of ancient wisdom, vibrant culture, and boundless potential. Yet beneath this veneer of glory lies a dark underbelly, a festering wound that shames us all. We are a nation where justice is a distant dream, where the cries of the innocent are lost in the deafening roar of apathy. This is not about isolated incidents, this is about a pattern, a sickness that has seeped into our very core. It is about the selective application of justice, the dangerous nexus of power, and the insidious poison of communal hatred. We stand at a crossroads, our heads bowed in shame. The time for silence is over. We must confront the darkness within or be consumed by it. We must speak truth to power, demand accountability, and fight for a future where every Indian, irrespective of their caste, creed, or gender, can live with dignity and hope. May 2023, a date etched in infamy. The world watched in horror as news emerged from Manipur, a state already scarred by conflict and violence. 2 women stripped, paraded naked, and subjected to unimaginable sexual brutality. Their only crime? Belonging to the wrong community. Their cries pierced the heavens, yet fell on deaf ears. The guardians of the law meant to protect stood as mute spectators. Where was the swift hand of justice then? Where was the outrage, the condemnation? These women, our sisters, were failed, not just by the state, but by a society that chose to look away. Their humiliation, a chilling reminder of the fragility of our humanity. What followed was even more appalling. A deafening silence from those in power, a calculated campaign to discredit the victims, to sow seeds of doubt, to muddy the waters. Politicians turned a blind eye, their voices choked by political expediency. Social media, often a tool for amplifying voices of dissent, became an echo chamber of hate and bigotry. Fake news and propaganda spread like wildfire, further victimizing the victims. The narrative was hijacked, the truth conveniently buried. This is the face of our collective shame. The silence of the bystander, the apathy of the privileged, the deafening roar of indifference. We have become a society that not only tolerates injustice, but also enables it. Bilkis Bano, a name that haunts our collective conscience. A chilling reminder of the horrors that unfolded during the 2002 Gujarat riots. A young pregnant Muslim woman gang-raped, her 3-year-old daughter brutally murdered, 14 members of her family butchered. For years, Bilkis Bano fought for justice, for dignity, for a semblance of closure. In 2008, after a long and arduous legal battle, her attackers were convicted. A ray of hope flickered, a testament to the power of resilience and the pursuit of justice. But the story doesn't end there. It takes a more sinister turn, exposing the deep-rooted rot within our system. The fight for justice for Bilkis Bano, far from over, had just begun its most harrowing chapter. Section 5. When Rapists are welcomed as heroes, August 15th, 2022. India celebrated its 75th Independence Day. On this day, 11 men, convicted of the horrific rape of Bilkis Bano and the murder of her family, walked free. Their release, a collective slap in the face of justice, was met not with outrage, but with celebration. Garlands were placed around their necks, sweets were distributed. The convicts were hailed as heroes, their heinous crimes brushed aside in the name of religion and political expediency. This was not just a travesty of justice, it was a celebration of impunity. What message did this send to the victims, to the millions of women living in fear? That their lives, their dignity, their pain counts for nothing, that in the eyes of the law some are more equal than others. Section 6. The poison of impunity. The release of the convicts in the Bilkis Bano case is not an isolated incident. It is a symptom of a much deeper malaise, a systemic rot that has permeated our society. It is the poison of impunity, the belief that those in power or those who enjoy the backing of powerful forces are above the law. This impunity emboldens perpetrators, silences victims, and erodes public trust in the very institutions that are meant to protect us. It creates a climate of fear and insecurity, where justice is a distant dream, and where the powerful can act with impunity. This is not the India our freedom fighters envisioned. This is not the legacy we want to leave for our children. We must rise as a nation and reject this culture of impunity. We must demand accountability from our leaders, from our institutions, and from ourselves. Section 7. Selective empathy, a convenient blindness. The cases of Manipur and Bilkis Bano lay bare the ugly reality of selective empathy and justice in India. It makes us question, where does our humanity end and our prejudices begin? Are some lives more grievable than others? Are some tragedies more deserving of our outrage? The deafening silence of many, particularly those in positions of power, speaks volumes. It reveals a disturbing truth. We are quick to condemn atrocities, but only when it serves our interests, when it aligns with our political ideologies, when it doesn't require us to confront uncomfortable truths about our own biases. This selective empathy is a dangerous game, one that threatens to tear apart the very fabric of our society. It breeds resentment, deepens divides, and makes a mockery of our claims of unity and brotherhood. Section 8. Where does our humanity end? We stand at a precipice, staring into the abyss of our own making. The reflection staring back at us is not one of a nation built on compassion, justice, and equality. It is a distorted image, warped by prejudice, apathy, and a selective moral compass. We have failed Bilkis Bano. We have failed the daughters of Manipur. We have failed every single victim whose cries for justice have been met with silence, indifference, or worse, justification. The question we must ask ourselves is, where does our humanity end? When does our silence become complicity? When do we stop being bystanders and become agents of change? Section 9. A call for justice, a plea for humanity. The time for introspection is long overdue. We can no longer afford to be passive spectators to this erosion of our moral and social fabric. We must acknowledge the darkness, confront our biases, and collectively work towards dismantling the structures that perpetuate this injustice. This is a call for justice, a plea for humanity. Let us pledge to create an India where the scales of justice are balanced, where the law protects every citizen, and where every life is valued, irrespective of caste, creed, or gender. Let us honor the memory of the victims, not with empty words, but with concrete action. Let us build a future where such horrors are not repeated, where every Indian can live with dignity, and where justice finally prevails.